silent and hearken unto me. Look upon my hawk's head and know that I am Ra, who was once a mighty god of Egypt. Ye cannot kneel nor prostrate yourselves, for ye are packed in rows without freedom to move, obstructing one another's vision. I ask you not for worship, but for silence. For I come to draw you back 2,000 years over the graves of 60 generations. Ye poor posterity, think not that ye are the first. Other fools before you have seen the sun rise and set, and the moon change her shape and her hour. As they were, so ye are, and yet not so great. For the pyramids my people built stand to this day, while the dust heaps on which ye slaves scatter in the wind, even as ye pile your dead brothers' bodies on them to make yet more dust. Hearken unto me then, O ye compulsorily educated ones, for ye are dull folk, and instruction is wasted on you. Settle in your seats and keep silent. You're about to hear a man speak, and a great man he was, as ye count greatness.
And that, my friends, was meant to introduce not me, but another man of genius. The god Ra refers to Julius Caesar, and he speaks in the prologue of my play, Caesar and Cleopatra. Caesar, of course, was the central character of that play, and he was one of the central characters of Shakespeare's The Tragedy of Julius Caesar. Shakespeare wrote his play, apparently, in the year 1598. In 1898, racked by pain from an ailment that everyone thought would turn cancerous and finish me off, I wrote mine. Thus, a period of some 300 years separates the two dramas. But they're separated by something even more profound, the totally dissimilar philosophies of the dramatists. Now, do not think me presumptuous in comparing myself with the great bard. The timid cough of the minor poet was never heard from him, nor has it ever been heard from me. I'm convinced that in many ways Shakespeare was very like myself. In fact, had I been born in 1556 instead of 1856, I should have taken to blank verse and given him a harder run for his money than all the other Elizabethans put together. Well then, how do we differ, this Shakespeare and I? This can best be illustrated, I believe, in the way we treated the character of this man, Julius Caesar. Caesar, as every schoolboy knows, or ought to know, was born in the year 102 BC and was assassinated in 44 BC when he was only 58 years old. As a military leader, he's generally considered to have been a genius. As a politician and statesman, he's been praised and damned, lauded as the creator of a great political system and decried as the destroyer of liberty and human dignity. But what was he really? I do not, in my play, pretend to answer that question for all time, nor I'm certain did Shakespeare in his. What we both tried to do was to portray a great man in the light of our respective times and in the light of our respective philosophies. Shakespeare, of course, was an Elizabethan and a pessimist. Life to him, as it was to Macbeth, was meaningless, a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Now, may I say, parenthetically, that you're free to disagree with anything I say about Shakespeare, but since you undoubtedly do not know his plays as well as I, your disagreement is likely to be on very shaky ground indeed. I was saturated with Shakespeare before I was 10 years old, and knew several of his plays virtually by heart by the time I was 20. Having demolished your right to disagree with me, then, let me return to my argument, which you will find irrefutable. Shakespeare, a product of the corruption and immorality of his age, was a profound pessimist. Now, pessimism, disillusion and despair, This will give you a Hamlet or a Macbeth, but not a Julius Caesar. Shakespeare, who knew human weakness so well, never knew human strength of the Caesarian type. In short, the character of Julius Caesar was beyond William Shakespeare. Let me give you an example. Caesar, no matter what his shortcomings, was a thoroughgoing politician. This is historical fact. But what sort of politician emerges from Shakespeare's portrayal? Let us see.
Antonius. Caesar. Let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. Young Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter. But I fear him not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He is a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a thought as if he mocked himself and scorned his spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease whilst they behold a greater than themselves. And therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
Now, do I criticize Shakespeare for portraying Caesar as a man who knew his enemies? Not a bit of it. What I do quarrel with is his presenting him as a politician who does not have the slightest inkling of the political usefulness of all sorts of men, lean and fat, thinkers and doers, mischief makers like Cassius, and unctuous voluptuaries like Mark Antony. In fact, if Caesar had been as narrowly selective in his choice of allies as Shakespeare portrays him, he'd scarcely have become Rome's dog catcher, let alone its supreme ruler. Let me show you how I portray Caesar in a similar situation. Caesar's fortunes in Act 4 of my play are at a low ebb. Surrounded by a bloodthirsty Egyptian mob, outnumbered by an opposing Roman army, all seems lost for him. But at this point, an officer of the opposing Roman army comes to him with a proposition, which, on the face of it, would seem to be somewhat shady.
Hearken to me, Caesar. It may be ignoble, but I mean to live as long as I can.
Well, my friend, you are likely to outlive Caesar. Is it any magic of mine, think you, that has kept your army and this whole city at bay for so long? Yesterday, what quarrel had the Egyptians with me that they should risk their lives against me? But today, we have flung them down their hero, murdered. And now every man of them is set upon clearing out this nest of assassins, for such we are and no more. Take courage, then, and sharpen your sword. Pompey's head is fallen, and Caesar's head is ripe.
Does Caesar despair?
He who has never hoped can never despair. In good or bad fortune, Caesar looks his fate in the face.
Look it in the face, then, and it will smile, as it always has on Caesar.
Ah, do you presume to encourage me?
I offer you my services. I will change sides if you will have me.
What, at this point?
At this point.
Do you suppose Caesar is mad to trust you?
I do not ask him to trust me until he is victorious. I ask for my life, for a command in Caesar's army. And because Caesar is a fair dealer, I will pay in advance.
Pay how?
With a piece of good news for you.
What news?
News. What news did you say, Rufio? The relief has arrived. What other news remains for us? Is it not so, Lucius Septimius? Mithridates of Pergamus is on the march.
He has taken Pelusium.
Lucius Septimius, you are henceforth my officer.
Well, was it foolish of Caesar to accept this man's service? A man who'd shown himself to be a turncoat any number of times, and a cutthroat at least once. Do you suppose Caesar will trust you? Rufio asks Lucius. The point is, of course, that Caesar did not trust Lucius Septimius in the romantic sense of that word. Caesar knew that men would follow him when it was worth their while to follow him. I made this point clear in a scene which occurs later on in my play. Caesar's secretary, Britanus, has just made what he naively considers to be a discovery of tremendous importance.
Caesar! Caesar!
What now?
Our brave Rhodian mariners have captured a treasure. There. Our enemies are delivered into our hands.
In that bag?
But wait till you hear, Caesar. This bag contains all the letters which have passed between Pompey's party and the army of occupation here.
Well?
Well, we shall now know who your foes are. The name of every man who has plotted against you since you crossed the Rubicon may be in these papers, for all we know.
Put them in the fire.
Put them in the fire.
In the fire. Would you have me waste the next 3 years of my life in proscribing and condemning men who will be my friends when I prove that my friendship is worth more than Pompey's was, than Cato's is? Oh, incorrigible British Islander. Am I a bulldog to seek quarrels merely to show how stubborn my jaws are?
But your honor, the honor of Rome.
I do not make human sacrifices to my honor. Since you will not burn these, I can at least drown them.
Caesar, this is mere eccentricity. Are traitors to be allowed to go free for the sake of a paradox?
But, of course, there was no paradox involved. None whatever. For Caesar, you see, like myself, was a realist. He saw life and human nature truly. It came as no surprise to him that men had plotted against him, nor would it surprise him that they would do so again. As for resenting this so-called treachery, my Caesar makes it plain that resentment is something undreamed of in his philosophy.
Caesar, you have taught Cleopatra the arts by which the Romans govern the world.
Alas, they cannot even govern themselves. What then?
What then? Are you so besotted with her beauty that you do not see that she is impatient to reign in Egypt alone, and that her heart is set on your departure?
Liar!
What? Protestations, contradictions?
No. I do not deign to contradict. Let him talk.
From her own lips I have heard it. You are to be her cat's paw. You are to tear the crown from her brother's head and set it on her own, delivering us all into her hand, delivering yourself also. And then Caesar can return to Rome, or depart through the gate of death, which is nearer and surer.
Well, my friend, and is not this very natural?
Natural. Then you do not resent treachery?
Resent? Oh, what have I to do with resentment? Do I resent the wind when it chills me? Or the night when it makes me stumble in darkness? Shall I resent youth when it turns from age, and ambition when it turns from servitude? To tell me such a story as this is but to tell me that the sun will rise tomorrow.
But it is false. False, I swear it.
It is true. Though you swore it 1,000 times and believed all you swore.
Now, Shakespeare, like Julius Caesar and myself, saw life truly also. Unfortunately, he thought about it romantically. And the inevitable lot of the man who sees life truly, but thinks about it romantically, is despair, black pessimism. The truth is that the world was, to Shakespeare, a great stage of fools and scallywags. He could see no sense in living at all. As for portraying a serious, positive character like Julius Caesar, he could place him before you with perfect verisimilitude. But when the moment came to make him live and move, Shakespeare found that he had a despairing puppet on his hands, a puppet incapable of acting under his own volition. Thus, some artificial external stimulus had to be invented by Shakespeare to make the character work. That is what is the matter with Hamlet all through. He has no willpower. He cannot act. Now, those who worship Shakespeare make a virtue of this defect. They call Hamlet a tragedy of despair and irresolution. Poppycock, stuff and nonsense. All Shakespeare's serious figures have the same defect. Their characters and manners are lifelike, but their actions are forced upon them from without, and the external force is grotesquely inappropriate. Take the scene from the second act of Julius Caesar, when Caesar cannot make up his mind whether to go to the Senate or not, tossed this way and that by this person and that consideration. He is, I submit, a travesty of a great man.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me ne'er look but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided, whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear. Seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come.
Your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate House, and he shall say you are not well today. Let me upon my knee prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus, he shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not falser. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far to be afeard to tell greybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most worthy Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spots did run pure blood. And many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. These does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all amiss interpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and recognizance. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
In this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say, and know it now. the Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall say you will not come, their minds might change. Besides, it were a mark apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to your proceeding bids me tell you this.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I'm ashamed I did yield to them. And look where Publius is come to fetch me. Good morrow, Publius. What, Brutus, are you stirred so early, too? Good morrow, Casca. Caius Ligarius. What is the clock?
Caesar, 'tis struck an 8.
Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and we like friends will straightway go together. I am to blame to be thus waited for.
And that shilly-shallying figure, rendered timid by his wife's fears and emboldened by the rhetoric of others, is, as I said, a travesty of a great man. Now, from all this, you've probably concluded that my remarks can bear only one construction, namely that my Caesar is an improvement on Shakespeare's. And in fact, that is their precise purport. Let me demonstrate then, with a scene from my play, how a man who had the genius to reach Caesar's eminence would have conducted high affairs of state. In this scene, Caesar is in Egypt, with an army of only 4,000 men against the mighty Egyptian army and the Roman army of occupation. He is, in short, in a situation fraught with peril.
Peace ho! Caesar approaches!
The king of Egypt permits the Roman commander to enter.
Which is the king, the man or the boy?
I am Pothinus, the guardian of my lord the king.
So you are the king? Dull work at your age, huh? Your servant, Pothinus. And this gentleman?
This is Achilles, the king's general.
A general. I'm a general myself. But I began too old. Health and many victories, Achilles.
As the gods will, Caesar.
And you, sir, are,
Theodotus, the king's tutor.
You teach men how to be kings, Theodotus. That is very clever of you. And this place?
The council chamber of the chancellors of the king's treasury, Caesar.
Ah, that reminds me, I want some money.
The king's treasury is poor, Caesar.
Yes, I noticed there is but one chair in it.
Bring a chair there, some of you, for Caesar.
Caesar?
No, 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 my boy. That is your chair of state. Sit down.
Sacrilege! Sit on there, Caesar.
Now, Pothinus, to business. I am badly in want of money.
My master would say that there is a lawful debt due to Rome by Egypt, contracted by the king's deceased father to the triumvirate, and that it is Caesar's duty to his country to require immediate payment.
Oh, I'm sorry, I've not made my companions known here. Pothinus, this is Britnus, my secretary. He is an islander from the western end of the world, a day's voyage from Gaul. This gentleman is Rufio, my comrade in arms. Pothinus, I want 1,600 talents.
1,600?
40 million sesterces? Impossible. There is not so much money in the king's treasury.
Only 1,600 talents, Pothinus. Why count it in sesterces? A sestertius is only worth a loaf of bread.
And a talent is worth a racehorse. I say it is impossible. We have been at strife here because the king's sister Cleopatra falsely claims his throne. The king's taxes have not been collected for a whole year.
Oh, yes, they have, Pothinus. My officers have been collecting them all morning.
Oh, morning. You must pay, Pothinus. Why waste words? You're getting off cheaply enough.
Is it possible that Caesar, the conqueror of the world, has time to occupy himself with such a trifle as our taxes?
My friend, taxes are the chief business of a conqueror of the world.
Then take warning, Caesar. This day, the treasures of the temple and the gold of the king's treasury shall be sent to the mint to be melted down for our ransom in the sight of the people. They will see us sitting under bare walls and drinking from wooden cups. And their wrath be on your head, Caesar, if you force us to this sacrilege.
Do not fear, Pothinus. The people know how well wine tastes in wooden cups. But, in return for your bounty, I will settle this dispute about the throne for you, if you will. What say you?
If I say no, will that hinder you?
No. You say the matter has been at issue for a year, Pothinus. May I have 10 minutes at it?
You will do your pleasure, doubtless.
Good, good. But first, let us have Cleopatra here.
Cleopatra's not in Alexandria. She is fled into Syria.
I think not. Call Tota Tita.
Tota! Tita! Tota!
Who pronounces the name of Dr Tita, the Queen's chief nurse?
Nobody can pronounce it, Tota, except yourself. Where is your mistress? Will the Queen favor us with her presence for a moment?
Am I to behave like a queen?
Yes.
Caesar, this is how she treats me always. If I'm to be king, why is she allowed to take everything from me?
You're not to be king, you little crybaby. You're to be eaten by the Romans. Arr.
Come here, my boy, and stand by me.
Take your throne. I don't want it. Follow me! Go this instant and sit down in your place.
Go, Ptolemy. Always take a throne when it is offered to you.
Hope you will have the good sense to follow your own advice when we return to Rome, Caesar.
Pothinus!
Are you not going to speak to me?
Be quiet. Open your mouth again before I give you leave, and you shall be eaten.
I am not afraid. A queen must not be afraid. Eat my husband there if you like. He is afraid.
Your husband? What do you mean?
That little thing.
Caesar, you are a stranger here and not conversant with our laws. The kings and queens of Egypt may not marry except with their own royal blood. Ptolemy and Cleopatra are born king and consort, just as they are born brother and sister.
Caesar, this is not proper.
How?
Pardon him, Theodotus. He is a barbarian and thinks that the customs of his tribe and island are the laws of nature.
On the contrary, Caesar, it is these Egyptians who are barbarians.
Barbarians?
I say it is a scandal.
Scandal or not, my friend, it opens the gate of peace. Pothinus, hear what I propose.
Here's Caesar there.
Ptolemy and Cleopatra shall reign jointly in Egypt.
Caesar, be honest. The money you demand is the price of our freedom. Take it and leave us to settle our own affairs.
You do. Egypt for the Egyptians. Begone. Egypt for the Egyptians. You forget. There is a Roman army of occupation here, left behind by Aulus Gabinius when he set up your toy king for you. And now under my command. I am the Roman general here, Caesar.
And also the Egyptian general, eh?
That is so, Caesar.
So that you can make war on the Egyptians in the name of Rome, and on the Romans, on me if necessary, in the name of Egypt.
That is so, Caesar.
And which side are you on at present, if I may presume to ask, General?
On the side of the right and of the gods.
How many men have you?
That will appear when I take the field. Are your men Romans? If not, it matters not how many there are, provided you are no stronger than 500 to 10.
It is useless to try to bluff us, Rufio. Caesar has been defeated before and may be defeated again.
A few weeks ago, Caesar was flying for his life before Pompey. A few months hence, he may be flying for his life before Cato and Juba of Numidia, the African king.
What can you do with 4,000 men? And without any money, be gone away with you. Egypt for the Egyptians.
I can talk to you like that, Caesar. Are you afraid?
My dear, what they say is quite true.
But if you go away, I shall not be queen.
I shall not go away until you are queen.
Achilles, if you are not a fool, you will take that girl whilst she is under your hand.
Why not take Caesar as well, Achilles?
Well said, Rufio. Why not?
Try, Achilles. Guard, there!
You're Caesar's prisoners, all of you.
No, no, no. By no means. Caesar's guests, gentlemen.
An improvement on Shakespeare's portrayal of Caesar? Without a doubt. But here, let me give you a friendly warning. It does not follow that the right to criticize Shakespeare, a right which I've exercised enthusiastically all my life, implies the power to write better plays. And in fact, do not be surprised at my modesty. I do not profess to write better plays, as you will see when next we meet. I shall demonstrate then, so that even the dullest among you can understand, that Shakespeare was and is king of dramatists, and that his tragedy of Julius Caesar is a triumph, the most splendidly written political melodrama we possess.